Hello and welcome everybody back once again to the GT3 Sundays here at Donington Park. I'm Mike Nause, and joined with me in the booth is none other than you're my boy Blue, aka Dominic Smedra.
Yeah, you say my name enough, Mike, you'll eventually get it down, I promise. Yeah, we're at beautiful Donington Park. I love this track. This is going to be a lot of fun.
Absolutely, and it's a jam-packed grid here tonight. 41 cars as it stands heading into qualifying on Donington Park, a track that is not necessarily the most spacious in terms of 2.5 miles with 12 corners, 5 to the left and 7 to the right. It's going to be some elbows out racing here tonight. And welcome along everyone. I hope you're all having a lovely evening, afternoon, or morning, wherever you are in this fine world. I see we have some hydrates already going. Dom, yours doesn't count, but cheers to Reaper.
Mine should totally count. What do you mean?
It's rigged. It's rigged. Yours.
That's fair. I have unlimited channel points, so yeah, that totally checks out. But yeah, Donington is on the topic of being skinny and elbows out racing. 42 total cars on the grid. It's gonna be an interesting set of turns coming up into sector 1, especially. You got that tight right-hander into T1, which is a very, very fast corner, and then you go down into those S's right by the that old archway, which is very cool little structural thing that we get to see in ACC. But it's going to provide us with some. I think we're going to see some door banging. I think we're going to see some pretty solid racing. You said elbows out, so I think yeah.
Definitely going to be some bumping, some banging, as you were saying, through Redgate into Hollywood and the old hairpin, and then the famous Starkey's Bridge. A track riddled with history is Donington, which you can now, hold on, now you can see in the background, because I forgot to change the B-roll. You love to see it. But yeah, it's located in Derby, England, or Derby, England. Sorry, British people. I don't think I'm pronouncing that. I think one of them is right. But welcome one and all. Welcome Doc Melway, Reaper, Morico, Provolone, Holly, Lizzie, and Wet Socks to boot.
Provolone in chat, not driving tonight, or not driving yet, I should say. He's out there with the fans. I think he's fanning it up. I'm seeing a solid amount of names here I haven't seen in a little while. Jacob Padberg, at one time TRACKILICIOUS champion, one of the youngest champions that we've ever had. So welcome back to the grid, Patty.
Maybe the youngest champion, now that you mention it.
I think it is.
That's a good stat, honestly.
Patty the baddie.
Devin, thank you for the 3 bits as well. 3630, welcome. And whose mustache? Dom's or mine? Probably Dom's. Dom has a much more. He's basically wearing a squirrel on his face. So
but yeah, I am. I actually, I'm very Yukon Cornelius looking. I look a little bit homeless right now. So we'll try to get that fixed up for the next couple weeks. But Mike, you were just in Indianapolis.
I was
the other day.
Yes, I was in Indy for a good while. In fact, thanks for anyone that popped in there. I know we saw names popped to mind. Scott Sullivan, I know, was there. Apologies to anyone that was. I know there were a few other names there.
Yeah, I mean, you're missing
Dom,
one.
Obviously.
I mean, it's cool. Yeah, there
Dom,
we go. Thank you.
Whatever, you don't count. It's fine. No, thank you all. That was over at Williams ESports, super fun. Thank you to them for putting me on. Absolute pleasure. Very chaotic race. It was an extremely chaotic race.
Trying to get a subtle plug for Williams Gaming Club. So, yep. But yeah, Mike did a fantastic job casting some IndyCar racing. That was I think we're going to see some of the similar chaos at Donington Park.
Yeah, tight cars that have, these cars got a bit more grip maybe than an Indy car at 200 miles an hour, or 200 plus miles an hour, but you never know. We'll see. Of course, obviously, that we saw some cars that were in the air for a good amount of time in that Indy race. We'll see if we can top that. I'd be surprised. Let's head on down, though, into the session here. We already hot into qualifying and on it for a while here, so let's have the black screen of anticipation until we go on to the quali, where Renato Dornales is going to be our pole sitter currently. And with a 1:26.3, very short lap times here. Gabriel Felipe behind him in second, looking to maybe set the trend here. We also have Franco Sanchez in P3 with Jake Wells, the young 13-year-old Jacob Wells behind in P4.
Yeah, and these guys are putting down heaters. For reference, I'm a pretty average driver, and I'm doing 30s, 29s, probably, right around in there. So These guys are putting in absolute work right now. Jeez.
And Gabriel Felipe is going to be coming now around the final corner. Is he going to set the new trend here tonight for the pace? As we have it heading now towards the line, it looks like it is going to be by 12 hundredths of a second.
Wow.
Very tight margins.
That vacuum racing Ferrari is fast.
And need to stay on track, says John Hawley. Momo, welcome. Jake Wells, machine. Did I reset my graphics to day racing? Yeah, it looks like it. Looks like it is.
You don't have the crazy exposure game?
No, I think you'd be able to tell. This looks pretty...
Yeah, no, you look pretty
tame.
good right now. Yep.
But stands a little bit stuttering there. Hopefully it doesn't stick around. But Gabriel Felipe, currently knocked off of pole by his fellow countryman Renato Dornales. The Brazilians are strong here tonight. Franco Sanchez, the other South American driver that we have, the Argentinian, joining the track there very safely. Nicely done.
And of course, it looks like it's the odd numbers going out first for this go around. So all the car numbers ending in the odd numbers, and then we'll have the even numbers go out next. And I see some pretty heavy hitters coming out for the even numbers. One of those being Jakob Padberg, fan favorite Jason Provolone, and I think the guy that might take pole away from his teammate is Wilson Fernandez.
Yeah, big names out there. Wilson Fernandez has just been dominant lately, I do have to say. Obviously, SRO driver now, along with, I think, Renato Dornales and maybe Gabriel Felipe as well. Nice lap there from Jake Wells, by the way. Just wanted to throw in real quick. Beats Francisco there, or Franco, excuse me, by, well, he won't on this lap, by another just couple hundredths of a second, or couple thousandths of a second. Very tight margins in the top four currently, as the Bullard gets thrown into the stratosphere there by Jake Wells. No regard to health and safety.
Yeah, you look at how close and how tight these lap times are. We should probably see some really, really close racing. We talked about it, obviously, in the open, but with the pace that these guys have, this is going to end up being a bit of a heater. I think we're going to see maybe some bump drafting going on, too. We'll see if they've got the courage for that.
Now, speaking of Jakob Padberg, Jakob has been on a little bit of a naughty streak since he's been back. We'll just call it as it is.
Does he need detention?
A little bit. You think he might actually be having a penalty in this race. There is a strong possibility of that, if I remember right. I actually didn't check before him, but I think so. He might already served it in a previous race, but that was, I think, due to, or that penalty wasn't caused from it, but he also had a little bump drafting session with Ali Raza, and Ali got pitched sideways into the wall. So that was
bump drafting gone wrong, I think.
It was Ollie's fault, to be fair. Ollie asked for it, but, you know.
Yeah, we can blame Ollie if you're watching this back. Remember, you're always at fault.
He blames himself. He literally asked for it. When I say he asked for it, I mean he actually asked Jakob to give him a bump draft, and it didn't work out. So no, it was actually his fault. Yeah.
Wow, what a turn of events! I was not expecting that at all. We're almost halfway through qualifying, and then of course at the halfway mark, the cars will switch over. So I'm liking Kevin Yu sitting P7 right now, the 95 car. That's a pretty solid showing from them. Darren Thomas down in 17th. A little bit of an off. I like that gray TRACKILICIOUS car that Darren Thomas has with the soup. Or it's ramen of some type on there. We got some pretty sweet liveries.
Yeah, we definitely do here tonight. Also, Momo thinking about taking part in this series, but it's nearly 3 a.m. in Luxembourg. Sleep is for the weak. That's just one of the things that I've heard. But, you know,
hey man, insomnia can drive you to do crazy things, and driving in TRACKILICIOUS is one of them.
Absolutely. No, definitely if you are interested in taking part in the league, do head on over to our SimGrid. We also have other leagues as well. I think our West Coast League probably a little bit worse on the time for you, as it starts from probably, 6 a.m. for you. So not quite ideal.
As you can tell, Mike is not a salesman.
Well, you know, we're a North American league, so I can sell to North Americans. Selling to Europeans is a little tough. But we do have our Endurance League, which I think is at noon-ish, which would be pretty good for the Europeans. It's like late night.
We got some love for He Who Shall Not Be Named in chat. Where is He Who Shall Not Be Named? Looking for the infamous 343 car. Who is currently sitting in P19 in the Aston Martin.
He's actually on our screen there and heads back to pits. As we have the odd-plated drivers here coming to an end of their qualifying session. The virtual checkered flag has fallen, and the drivers now have to finish their lap. They will no longer be able to start one. If they do invalidate, they will no longer be able to continue. Anton there does not want to improve, or he does not improve, excuse me. Vadik has a chance here in the number 63. Currently just a tenth and a bit behind a few drivers, actually. Even Cass in this race. Love to see it. Vadik overtaking Cass as well. Welcome back to Daniel Cassley, of course. Casslassi, apologies. I don't think I've ever pronounced that name right.
I was sitting there trying to figure out which name you were screwing up, so I probably would have screwed it up initially as well.
And we have here Devin Anthony in the Rockefeller Racing Porsche. He is going to be the first even-plated driver to start a lap here. Or maybe, yes, I think he is. Maybe. Anyways, he's the driver we're on board with now. And as he's now coming through Starkey's Bridge, up the hill now towards McLean's. Left-hander where you just have to now throw the car right. Try to get onto the inside of that apex, clip the curb, car getting a little unsettled, but not too big of a deal for the Ferrari. Next through Cops, a little bit too much speed, but that uphill is so nice to slow you down. Now, on to one of the best overtaking opportunities that you're going to have, the long run down here into the Fogarty S's, down through Starkey Straight. It's going to have some confidence there. We're going to see some elbows out racing, I would imagine, in that corner. Up next, Melbourne. Braking very early as it's a 90-degree, or basically 180-degree hairpin. And coming right back around now to the final corner, which is another 180-degree hairpin of Goodard's. Nice and slow there, a little bit hesitant onto the throttle. Going to be a decent banker lap as he runs wide, comes to the line. What's it going to be? P21.
And he kept it valid, even going a little wide there, but I think he definitely pushed it a little bit more than where he was at. And you're talking about the chicane. It's going to be one of those sections that's just going to be an absolute action zone for us to take care of. Also, Eric in chat pointing out the 43 drivers that we have on track today, and you're one of them, champ.
What could possibly go wrong with 43 drivers trying to share 2.5 miles of tarmac?
So one of my biggest fans in chat, Radiko Tsitsiev. Thank you. The fan club is going strong, I take it.
Yo, let's get us to the front page of Twitch, though. That's a good call.
Yeah, that would be fantastic.
Vadik?
Be great exposure for the league.
Also, speaking of great exposure to the league, we have a follow. I just wanted to say thank you from earlier. I missed it. Thank you to Jade the Doe for the follow. Much appreciated. As the evens are back out on track, I'm doing wonderful, Vadik, as we have it here. As John Hawley said, 90 minutes of Donington here with Dom. How could I be more excited, really?
You sound thrilled. You sound over the moon that we're trapped here in the UK in a tiny box overlooking a bunch of GT3 cars that are going way faster than us. I don't think we could ever do these times, Mike. I don't know about you.
No. I definitely can't.
Not a chance. So it's very, very fun to see. This is a pretty tight field. There's not really a gap, a large gap, until you get down to the 30s. Everybody is pretty much doing almost the same times, maybe a couple tenths here and there different, all the way until the 30 mark. And even then, you got some pretty decent drivers. Professor Carnotis, Devin Anthony, who we were talking about earlier. Bruce Hopkins, one of my former rivals in another series. Happy to see him back out there. He's in the number 60 Aston. Very, very cool dude. So
this is not what you want to see in qualifying. Chris Moses getting a bit held up. Side by side, we're racing here. A little bit of a prelude of what's to come. Chris Moses backs off of his lap.
Big off for Lanham. Skidding it into the wall there. That's a bummer.
That driver that was causing a bit of strife there for Chris Moses is Zane Blisket, who's actually up about half a second on his lap. And he's not entitled to move out of his way whatsoever. And good thing he didn't, because it looks like this is going to be a solid improvement here. From P32, he gains a position over Emirates. Nicely done. Up into P31.
Yeah, every 10th matters, right? So trying to see where... Oh, the boss man currently sitting P37. Not a bad showing. I'm pretty sure Eric just arrived and drived.
No surprises there, Eric. He has been putting the practice in lately, I will say, just not at this track in particular. And this track definitely requires some practice.
It's a track that you look at initially and you're like, you drive it a couple times, you know, maybe do 5-10 laps. You're like, all right, I got this. And then you sit there and go, man, I could squeak out a lot more time in every single corner if I just really grind it away. And one of my personal favorite tracks, in all honesty, I'm kind of surprised I'm in the booth for this one. I would have joined for this track alone. But they told me to get out of the car. So it didn't happen today. It's one of those tracks that's you got everything. You know, you can't rest either. There's no relaxation. That's not a bad thing, you know?
No, absolutely. It is. Corners come at you thick and they come at you fast. But honestly, they don't come at you that thick. It's very narrow. They come at you narrow and fast, to be honest. It's a very thin track.
Also, my buddy Prawn in chat.
Yeah, that's what I was actually
Prawn?
about to say. Pranav, I saw you practicing in the, well, I mean, I personally didn't. I was watching Ali practice, but practicing over in what was it? Over at Donington? No, at Bathurst, right? Can't remember actually now that I think about it.
I believe that's the next race for them, right? Question mark? Also, Eric pointing out my champ. It was not. I did not mean to be. Every time I say champ, it's just like a bro or hey there. It's not, it was not meant to be. Yeah, but you can take it. You can take it however you want, though, Eric. Especially for you. No one driving the BMW. It is a very, very strong machine here. That is for sure. So it is kind of interesting. We only have Kaio Jr. and I believe Darren Thomas are both in the M4 GT3 with the big sniffer on the front.
Yeah, Darren Thomas with a very good time as well this time around. It looks like has been bested by, actually, it seems like he's been bested by quite a few. He was up there quite high in the standings. Or was he? Where is he? Darren Thomas.
26th.
Underperforming, I would say, tonight. Unfortunate there for the warm soup driver. The BMW probably isn't optimal at this track. In fact, now that you mention it, I saw him in chat, in the TRACKILICIOUS Discord chat, mentioning that it's not quite the greatest car here. Oh, and Darren Thomas in chat as well.
Really?
Welcome.
I thought, so I drove the M4 for a long time. I loved the M4 around this track, which is very interesting. You'd think that it wouldn't be. I thought it was pretty good here for what I was doing. So,
Probably to the racing fuel. Oh man, so Trying to get as much practice as you can in last minute. Yeah, fair enough. I understand, Darren.
He's trying to get the M4 name tarnished right now. The big sniffer. Kyle Jr., the other M4 driver, sitting in P20, top 20. We'll take it for the M4 boys. No Lexuses. That's the real crime here. There's no Lexuses. Even with the custom bob. You wouldn't see me in any other car if there's a custom bob.
Yeah, I think we are back to using the default bop now after the 1.9.8 update. I don't know.
Yeah, Darren Thomas, if you can get into we can talk to some guys at TRD and we can get you a nice little racing deal there for next season. I promise you.
Nice little flourish at the end there for the Ferrari. A few more drivers yet to finish qualifying. Now, Jace Wright in the Fuchsia. Another driver who's been underperforming lately ever since he's gone over to the wheel, hasn't quite gelled with it just yet, and he's practicing his pit entry. You love to see that.
Smart, because the pit entry at Donington sneaks up on you. We could see some, another thing we didn't talk about was the track limits at Donington Park are a little interesting, so this should make for an interesting penalty situation too, and so is the pit entry. You can definitely catch people out, so.
As we get ready here to meet our drivers. Got quite a few of them to get through at the start here. Let's start off here up the front. Starting off on the front row, it's a Brazilian front row lockout. Gabriel Felipe, the number 27 ORT esports driver, takes pole away from his fellow countryman Renato Dornales in the Vacuum Racing, the number 3 driver, with Jake Wells in the Ripline Racing behind him in P3. Backing up row 2 here is going to be Franco Sanchez in the number 21 McLaren, the Argentinian driver, with Ali Raza, the Canadian, in P5. Quinn Smith, in P6, the 999, with Ricardo Rivera behind him in P7. Christian Dubé, 8th quickest in the number 71, with Wilson Fernandez in P9 in the 888. Rounding out our top 10, it is Kevin Yu, the number 95 Lamborghini Evo 2, with Chris Moses behind in P11. Casey Schutte, the 444 in P12. Drew Burakovsky, 13th quickest in the number 19, with Vedika Stitsiev, 14th quickest behind him in the sister car. Matt Arteem in the Audi is going to be 15th quickest, with Daniel Kaslasi in P16. CJ Engine, 17th fastest in the Rutro Racing for the Canadian. Anton Wass, the fellow Canadian, in P18. Jason Provolone, it ain't easy being cheesy, and no, it most certainly is not, in the Audi, number 82, P19. And rounding out our top 20, Kaio Jr. Jelson Cruz, 21st quickest in the 777 with JP Bellinger in P22. Stephen Music, 23rd with Will Hassman in 24th. Larry Lanham in P25. Jace Wright, 26th in the number 24 with Darren Thomas in P27. Alexio Gappa in the Noobs RS in P28. Alex Freeman in the Trackalicious number 14 in P29 with Steven Tomazic in P30. The Big Brain Racing, first and last time I'll mention the name in this race. Will Brunner in P31 with Chronotis in 32nd. Bruce Hopkins, 33rd. Zane Bliskett in the Mad Fox Racing, P34, with Emirates behind him in P35. Devin Anthony, 36th quickest in the 664 with Jonathan Dubé in P37. Clay Bartkin in Bartnick in P38 with Eric Gakassian in 39th. Mach Speed 40th, Jaeger Karu 41st, Jakob Padberg 42nd, and Rally Ducci in the back.
Yeah, well, what a grid! Nice rundown there, Mike. I love hearing the quick offs. You're getting faster every day.
When I know the names, it helps.
Yes, yeah, that's for sure. I think it's going to be kind of funny if someone's, you mispronounce their name. You're like, you got Gakassian, but you didn't get my name.
Funny thing is,
we've called out Eric's name enough.
I also don't pronounce Eric's name right.
No, I know. Yeah, we absolutely butcher Eric's name for sure. But, you know, he lets us, he gives us a pass. Also, surprised, did Patty serve a quali bid? Question mark?
He very well may have. I don't know. He might just be starting from the back, but he does have that 10-second penalty that I mentioned earlier in qualifying.
Yeah, definitely a battle for Jakob Padberg. I'm interested to see, maybe he's going for most positions gained.
It is possible.
He's pretty good. He's pretty good. I don't. You got any wild, bold predictions for the race, Mike?
Any wild, bold predictions for the race? Let's take a look here at our scoreboard. I mean, we have some out-of-place drivers here. Emirates in P35, Zane Blisket in 34th. Interesting. I want to see Jace Wright make it into the top 15. That I'd love to see here. Currently, Jace Wright in P26. I think he definitely can do it.
Okay. I like Kevin Yu finishing in the top 10. I'm a big on Kevin Yu tonight, and I got Wilson Fernandez on the podium, coming from P9, and I have Jake Wells maybe dropping out of the top 5. So we'll see if any of those predictions come through. Cody Blanton gifting me a tier 1 sub. Thank you, Cody. I appreciate that.
Let's go. Thank you so much, Cody. Gifted 10 total subs to the channel. Thank you so much for your continued support.
It's a little awkward that I wasn't already subbed, guys, but don't pay attention to that.
We understand everyone's financial situations. Of course, we do provide free entertainment here on Twitch, so anyone that does support, it is greatly appreciated. Thank you to all our patrons. We'll definitely have more on that in a little bit. And as we have it, the meat and potatoes is ahead of us.
Meat and taters, let's go.
One more corner for these drivers to negotiate here before we go green. 43 cars here tonight on Donington Park. Gabriel Felipe on pole position. Next to him is his fellow countryman Renato Dornales. I'm Mike Nause in the booth. Joined with me tonight is Dominic Smedra as we get ready to go green here at Donington. And we're green now, heading down towards Red Gate, and it looks like it's going to be an immediately great start for Jacob Wells. He's going to tuck in, having the move now down to the inside, trying to take that P2 away. Can he make it stick? It looks like he can. There's contact. The car is a little bit wide as they head through the S's now. Ali Raza making up some ground as well. Franco Sanchez trying to be on his best behavior. Almost contact between Ricardo Rivera and Ali Raza. Looks like a little bit of bumping and banging throughout the field here, but everybody's settling in fairly well for right now. Ricardo Rivera, every which way. Can he get it done now? Up the hill, heading towards McLean's. Yellow flags in the back, and it looks like there's been a big one. It looks like there has been quite a few cars involved here, but they seem to be mostly recovered. Eric Gakasian getting caught up in that, but I'm not sure, Dom.
Yeah, it looks like it was just a little bit of a rear end situation. Some people were braking ahead of where the other driver was bringing a little bit of an accordion effect and just caught people out coming through to those S's. So yeah, rough going. Larry Lanham way off into the greenery there.
Hate to see it. Up in the front, though, tight battles. Jake Wells still retaining that P2. Renato Dornales now all over the back of him. Franco Sanchez holding his ground. Ali Raza also up, I think, 2 positions here at the start. No, equal with his positions. My apologies. Drew Burakovsky, though, he is up 2 positions. Now in a battle with Chris Moses as Chris Moses rips it away from him.
Yeah, Chris Moses not taking any prisoners tonight, that is for sure.
Ali Raza trying to get something done here with Franco Sanchez. Now, the overtaking opportunities are quite thin on this track, and that's not just because of how narrow it is. This is a very tricky track at the best of times to make any sort of large moves on. First lap going to be... the first lap going to be your best opportunity, so that's why you saw those drivers going so all out there. We do have some side-by-side action, though, from behind. It looks like Drew Burakovsky, Casey Schutte, battles throughout this field.
Yeah, and you're talking about overtaking opportunities. You gotta just really capitalize on mistakes from the guy in front of you, or send it. You know, if you have the confidence to be able to send it and not cause, you know, a disaster, then go for it. I would say that the hairpins and T1 are going to be your big overtaking points, as we see Ali Raza getting a little spicy there on the inside of the hairpin as they come down towards the finish line. But going to that hairpin, if you can really make it stick, you can make up a lot of positions.
You see a little bit of movement there from Matter Team as he's coming under pressure from Kaslassi behind him. Nice trade of cars. You can see as they all file one by one into the distance. The head of the snake turns in and everybody follows with them. Oh, yellow flags in the back there. Contact, yeah, it looks like.
Alessio Gappa got a little bit of a bonk from one of the BMWs at the hairpin, as we talked about it, and then one of the Fuchsia Competizione vehicles gets bumped by a fellow Lambo driver. I believe that's Zane Blisket there. So a little bit of calamity, but nothing too terrible. Pretty manageable damage right now.
Yeah, he did manage to come out of that not too terribly. Bit of contact on that new paint job, but nothing too easy to brush off. It'll buff out at the end. Severius, welcome. Welcome back.
Steven Sarver, good buddy of mine from Simracing Alliance. What's up, Mr. Sarver? Also, someone mentioning, it looks like Mason mentioning Quinn Smith, Daytona 24-hour winner, along with Ali Raza, Team Trackalicious. So yeah, we got to make sure that we mention that as much as possible throughout the race to get him to Daniel Morad status. That is for sure.
He's got a bit of work to get there, but that's all right.
No, he did. No, Ali Raza and Quinn Smith, way better drivers than Daniel Morad. Oh, we got a little bit more contact with the Scooby-Doo machine.
Not unexpected, to be fair, this contact here. Not saying that it's justified, it's just that you 43 drivers on a very small track, there's bound to be some bumping and bound to be some banging, as we have a little bit of side-by-side action from Casey there behind there for a moment. Ooh, did we have a driver disconnect? No, I think
I believe we did. It was the one of the Scooby-Doo machines. I was trying to get the replay, and it just bugged out.
Wait a second. No, never mind. I'm crazy. What am I talking about? We're good. Oh, no.
Also, Bartnick taking a spin at T1. Looks like it was kind of unassisted. Yeah, just cooking it at T1 and then right into the greenery. Bruce Hopkins and Freeman bumping and banging here.
Oh, Casey Schutte putting the pressure here onto Vidic, and he's feeling it. You can see him really overdriving that Lamborghini, and Casey is well within his bounds here, going for an outside overtake through the penultimate corner. He's going to have the inside line now for the final. This should be pretty much done and dusted. Signed, sealed, and delivered. Casey Schutte up another position.
And it looks like Freeman and it was Freeman and Bruce Hopkins got tangled up. Freeman ended up going way wide into the lawn, coming back on track and clipping Bruce Hopkins. Bruce Hopkins and team retiring the car. Looks like that was a pretty big crash.
Vidic almost having a crash of himself there. Gets a little loose. Oh, Vidic is overdriving this Lamborghini so hard. Be careful on this rejoin. This is going to be dicey, but he manages to keep it very under control. Pretty wide there on the rejoin, but that's okay. No one was around. Vidic seeing a red mist right now, and he really, really needs to back it off here. He's driving at an 11. He needs to be at like a 9 right now.
Yeah, taking a rally Lambo. The WRC Lamborghini Huracan is just launched with Vidic Otisitev there. But yeah, that's when you overdrive, you just lose you put a lot of pressure on yourself and you lose a lot of confidence. So just chillax, relax, let the race come to you. Jelson Cruz getting tossed out at the chicane.
And Brian Brian Case, or Brian Casey, is it? I'm not sure. Apologies. Brian C says 85. There we go. Thank you very much for the follow. And Stefan Buckley, wish you could do 1.5 hours. I do too, Stefan. Love to see you out here on this track. This is a tough track, I gotta say. Also, Pranav saying that the driver's got to be aware of the chicane in Sector 2. Very easy to get a track cut. Very true. It's super high speed, and you drivers want to carry as much speed as they can through these corners. And very easy to cross that red line, and it's pretty much a guaranteed track cut if you do.
And just an update to the 777 Porsche of Jelson Cruz back up and running after what seems to be, it looks like it's some sort of mechanical issue with that car, because he just outbroke himself at the chicane and then missed the hairpin. So we'll kind of keep an eye on that 777. He's going slow right now. This battle up front. We saw this last race that you and I did. You guys just duking it out at Coda. This top 5 pack just absolutely pulling no punches from each other.
Oh my. Renato. He's getting frisky. Oh my goodness. Franco. Gonna need a new pair of trousers after that one. Gets a little bit too much of a footful of right throttle. A footful of throttle there. Too much.
And Gabriel Felipe is building a nice little gap with Wells and Dornales duking it out. And Jake Wells, you can put this on your resume. You kept Renato Dornales behind you for about 1.5 laps, but he's definitely coming for you, buddy.
Another driver, speaking of, Wilson Fernandez only in P8 right now. A little out of position, in my opinion.
Yeah, I think he was starting below. He started below there, though. So I've got him in the top 5, top 5 finish. So I have faith. This is Jake Rockin, number 69. Incredible. What a legend.
Yeah, it's pretty nice.
Nice. And he's got the number 3 car. The number 3 car is in 3rd. You love to see that. If he was in iRacing, he'd be loving that right now.
Man, I mentioned that Wilson Fernandez was in P8 and struggling. He's actually getting overtaken currently by Christian Dubé, who goes a little bit deep. And the switchback of the switchbacks, but guess what? We're going to see Christian Dubé on the inside line here, and I do not think that there is much that Wilson can do. Or can
unless
he?
There's another switchback.
Contact? No, he keeps it clean. The inside line, though, again to the Aston. But the McLaren,
what a battle.
A rocket ship. Into the braking zone, the Aston later onto the brakes, more confidence, switchback again. Wilson takes the inside line this time through the S's, but it's going to turn to the out once again, but back to the in. And
these guys are,
my goodness.
These guys are just absolutely providing us with a great rock'em sock'em machines here. The Aston definitely has a little bit more control coming up past that bridge section, but in sectors 3 and 1, that McLaren just really bites, doesn't it?
McLaren is
bites
so
in a
quick.
Good way.
Yeah, it's
bites
so
in a good
quick.
Way.
It bites in a bad way too, to be completely honest. It's just that these drivers are talented enough to control it. That car is very aggressive.
Yeah, looking at Ali Raza, excuse me, that was Felipe Sanchez right behind the lead pack here, taking the chicane, watching all of those McLarens kind of bump through. We do have a little bit of a McLaren Cup right now in the top 10. I love to see Christian Dubé sitting in P8 in that. Him and Quinn Smith,
oh my
of course,
goodness.
24-hour winner, Quinn Smith.
Who is that? Rally Dutchy has decided to have a picnic on the final corner in the grass and that is a terrible position to be in.
Yeah, you're coming into the blind corner and you're right at the pit exit, or pit entrance, excuse me. Yeah, that's definitely a rough one. Let's see if you can get it turned around. Good job being patient. It's just hemorrhaging positions, but that's all right.
Drew Burakovsky, nicely done, takes the position back there from Chris Moses. Drew, though, with that 20-second penalty. Of course, that is going to be from a previous race that he has received that. And hopefully that doesn't affect him too much, but it definitely will.
Also, we had another McLaren stopped on track. I couldn't confirm who it was. Also, Kaio Jr. flashing lights at Will Brunner. Didn't like the move that Brunner made. Right behind them is Vadiko Tsitsiev. So you have a nice little three-way battle here. I like the little battles that are going on track. That's what Donington is fun with.
Casey Schutte there gets another overtake on Chris Moses. At this stage of the race, Chris Moses is going backwards. And yeah, watching, that is probably the worst situation to be in, Pranav, in facing the wrong way on the final corner where you just have every single car to come by you before you can do anything. That is A, terrifying situation to be in, and B, just the worst sight ever. And oh, there's another McLaren stranded in the grass. That's going to be Clay Bartnick, unfortunately. The number 25 McLaren having some issues here.
Yeah, they were having issues earlier on, too, through Sector 1, so not sure what's going on there. But we get a nice little pack, lots of pack racing right now for these guys. We still have 38 drivers, 40 drivers? Yeah, 41 drivers currently on track still. So we've only lost 2 drivers in the pretty clean Donington race. I've been a part of much worse, so this has been pretty solid.
Yeah, absolutely. Our current biggest gainer is the young Jakob Padberg, up 16 positions. Kevin Yu down 17 behind him.
I don't want to say I told you so, but kind of told you so.
I still think there's a chance that Emirates is in a fairly decent spot here. I know Emirates isn't currently last, but he's also served his 1 mandatory pit stop, if I'm not mistaken.
Oh, going for a little bit of a super undercut.
Yeah.
We have an hour and 50. We've only been racing for 15 minutes, Mike. This feels like we've been doing this for a while. Also, Stitsiev gets past Kaio Jr. Kaio Jr. letting him by on that one. So interesting, kind of picking his battles there.
Ricardo Rivera on the charge. Currently is up 1 position. 787 here. See what he can do in the Optimum Motorsports. But for right now, as you said, the pack racing, kind of the common theme here. And it's sort of when you fall out of the packs, you start to get gobbled up. You run out of that slipstream, and you can see the quicker drivers as Quinn Smith has fallen out of the slipstream ahead. The previous Daytona winner, Quinn Smith, but it's not enough. But who is that? That's Emirates, if I'm not mistaken.
Yep, the all-black McLaren going through the lawn there. That was probably a little terrifying for Dubé as he made a nice overtake when Quinn Smith made a mistake. 24-hour winners don't make a lot of mistakes, but Quinn Smith definitely made one right there, and that was, he just dipped his toe into the dirt, lost a lot of traction, and Dubé said, thank you very much.
Also, thank you very much to Lil 900i8. Thank you for the follow.
Love to see it. Hey, Christian Dubé's on a little bit of a charge. He fought off Wilson Fernandez after Fernandez was trying to switch back City him, and now he took over Quinn Smith, and now he's got Ricardo Rivera in his sights. Ricardo Rivera, no slouch when it comes to driving, that's for sure. You mentioned SRO Esports. He's on that list as well. We got a few guys that have some pretty upper echelon pedigree here.
Yeah, Ricardo Rivera, of course, Puerto Rican. A very proud Puerto Rican. I know Lizzie also in the chat earlier, another very proud Puerto Rican. We love to see that. They're pretty sure that Ricardo Rivera is a part of the Puerto Rico e-racing club, which a few other Trackalicious members are a part of. A very quick community.
Yeah, he's fast. He's, believe it or not, in 6th. I'm not sure if I think that's more of a compliment to the guys ahead of him, because he's having to work right now for that 6th position. Also, big offs in Sector 1 as it stands right now. Looks like the Ferrari of Haasman sending it into the greenery. Just completely missing the corner.
Oh my goodness.
Who was that? Was that a... Yeah.
We're watching the mini feed here, folks, for the replay down in the bottom right. Yeah, the Stitziov there kind of gets into a very dangerous situation with the Ferrari. But you know what I like to see here, Dom? The team of Franco Sanchez, the G27 Enjoyers team. Now, that is
G27 Enjoyers, yeah. That's awesome. I love to see that.
So I'm assuming Franco Sanchez driving on a Logitech G27, so it doesn't matter what piece of equipment you have out there, guys. If you want to get into sim racing, do definitely take a look at dipping your toes into the water. And actually, you know what? On that, as we have some side-by-side action that's about to finish here, Anton Wass dropping a position to JP Bellinger. Why don't we take a look at our calendar here and what we have coming up here in the near future. We'll check back in with the race in a moment. But as we have it, heading on over to our calendar, we can see what we have to offer here at TRACKILICIOUS in the near future. We have our GT4 Rookie Championship. That's going to be tomorrow over at Valencia. And it's also our GT4 Open Championship, which over at Valencia, there's a little bit of rain involved. And when I say a little bit, I might be slightly under-exaggerating. So do tune in for that or sign up. Definitely a super fun event. Open to our Patreon members, server supporters. Thank you all so much more on that in a minute. GT2 League starting up very, very soon, February 6th on Tuesday, on the 9 p.m. Eastern Time 2020 doubleheader at Silverstone. We have our West Coast Championship as well, starting up Wednesday at 11 Eastern Time, 8 p.m. Pacific. GT3 Reverse Grid Thursdays, 8:30. That's going to be over at Suzuka next. Super fun championship. Even if you are looking at just having a couple fun off races on a Thursday night, that's the championship. So much fun. It is one race in the right direction of the qualifying order, and then you flip everything on its head come the second race after the results, but it's a bit of a simplification. We also have our GT4 Endurance. That's at 12 p.m. Eastern Time, 9 p.m. Pacific, up at Bathurst, February 10th. We have also Midnight at the Mountain, 30-45 doubleheader at Bathurst, and our GT3 main event, which you're watching right now here at Donington next week, is going to be over at Barcelona. Or excuse me, not next week. Looks like in 2 weeks we'll be over in Barcelona. So that is our calendar. Big thank you to all of our Patreon members. All of their wonderful names are on screen. Special thanks to our V12 Exotic members and all of our V8 Muscle Inline 4 and server donators. Also to all of our previous patrons and future ones as well. You guys make what we do here possible. As like I said before, this is a free production that we put on here. A lot of work goes into it behind the scenes, not just from my part, but from the admins as well. And your guys' support is very, very motivating, to say the least. You make what we do here possible. Like I say, thank you. So back to the action here as we head back to the race.
Yeah, and I did want to point out, Prawn in chat, calling out Estefano Barrera, who raced on a G27. And Estefano is one of the fastest drivers that I've got to talk to. Him and Wes Hepburn, they both, Wes is a coach of mine for a long time, so yeah, those guys, if they can do it on, and Wes started on simple stuff. So if you can get into sim racing, dip a toe, get a starter set of wheel and pedals. They're out there, eBay, Facebook Marketplace. Someone's definitely got some. So if you're thinking about it, absolutely do it.
And of course, any of the championships that I just mentioned are all available over on our SimGrid, link there in chat. Rally Duchy and Emirates have not come together. They've just crashed at the same time on different parts of the track.
Yeah, lots of lawn mowing. I know that the grounds crew is going to be a little peeved at this set of drivers today. That is for sure. Also, Christian Dubé has closed the gap to Ricardo Rivera. It's now only it's less than a second, and decreasing. It was about a second before. So, yeah, definitely a nice little battle that we're going to see here.
Also, JP Bellinger joining the party here of Darren Thomas. We're going to have some AMG, BMW, Ferrari battles.
Man, love to see it. Love to see it.
And also, next Sunday makes sense. It's American football. Also, it's Endurance Week, yes. Oh, what the? I was looking at chat. Okay, well, replay time, everybody. Let's take a look at this. as we have here, we're currently the middle car, who is Darren Thomas. Darren going defensive. That angle didn't quite tell us much. Why don't we...
let's...
why don't we get it
oh,
again?
man. It's just a little bit of a... Oh.
We're going to watch
the
it one more
Ferrari
time.
thought that he was gone.
So this is another replay of that same incident. I'm just curious what happened here. Darren Thomas on the inside. Oh, Steven Music, excuse me, just kind of comes over. Interesting. Stewards will definitely be taking a look at that one. It's a bit of a chaotic one, but...
Yeah, and then I think afterwards, Music thought that Thomas had gone by. I don't think he saw him. I don't think he thought he was there. So, yeah, definitely a weird situation. I've raced against Steven Music for a long time. He's not a guy to come back at you, that is for sure. So, I think that was an accident. The secondary hit, I think.
Definitely not intentional, and it just looked like he kind of, turned in without seeing him, really.
Also, Bartnick, we got pit lane exit. Wow, that was, I think that was Blisket coming out of the pit lane. We had Dubé and Ricardo Rivera almost collecting each other. These guys are getting spicy, these two. I'm expecting some argy-bargy stuff here coming up. Dornales and Sanchez have also closed their gaps, and they're poking some fun at Ali Raza, too.
It's currently what we have here up on the big feed. Ali Raza feeling the pressure. And Renato Dornales, is he going to go for it is the real question. He needs to with Franco Sanchez close behind. And yeah, as we saw there, the pit lane, that is going to be one of those challenges. These older tracks, the older pit lanes, that is Ali Raza right there picking up a track cut penalty, by the way. We just watched it with our eyes, folks. And that will be one added to the board. You pick up 4 of those in a race, and the stewards will be having a word with you automatically and be sending you with a free trip down pit lane.
Yeah, and those free trips down pit lane, they sound exotic and fun. They're not. They're incredibly boring. So, wouldn't recommend them. Used a speed token. That's right, Mason. Used a speed token.
Here at Donington, you are looking at actually only 19 seconds loss in terms of a drive-through penalty. So it's really one of the, I think it's actually the second shortest pit lane, third shortest pit lane.
What's shortest?
Alton Park, apparently, is a 14-second drive-through penalty. So this is the third shortest at 19. No.
Which is the second?
19. There's a lot tied at 18 and 19.
Oh, okay.
So we got Kyalami at 18.
Wow, that's
actually
surprising.
only Kyalami at 18, but it's a 1, 2, 3. It's a 3-way tie, 4-way tie between 19 seconds, 5-way tie.
Dubé's going for it right here. This is a great opportunity, and the camera guy failed me. They're side by side going down the straight up into the chicane. This is quite a run by Christian Dubé. I've been watching this battle because I know it's going to get good. I thought he had him there. Not quite. He's going down the inside of the hairpin. Got to be careful. Oh, he outbroke himself. He's going to swing wide. Rivera's just... Oh, man.
That driving from Ricardo Rivera was superb. You could see him turn into the corner, and he saw that Christian Dubé was heading straight for his quarter panel, and he just turns out of it, goes straight for a little bit, allows Christian by, and he takes that position right back.
Yeah, he essentially, he read the play really well there. As you'd say in other sports, you know, he just had really, really good racing IQ. Emirates doing a little bit of grass cutting in that McLaren there, but it just nice awareness is what you want to see out of that corner there.
Yeah, head on a swivel.
Smith got up. Just because of the battle. They now there's a nice little 3-way between Rivera, Dubé, and Smith. Oh, Smith getting a little squirrely. That Audi is so touchy in the rear.
Yeah, very short gearing. Those tires really like to light up when you get on the throttle. A V10, of course, behind the seat. Whoa, my.
Yeah, Stitiev and Brunner.
It was Rally Dutchy is who that was, facing the wrong way. Ooh, terrible night for Rally Dutchy.
First going the wrong way at the pit entry, now going the wrong way, doing some more corner cutting. Is there another? Looks like Mach Speed in the GTR. That car is not showroom worthy. That is for sure.
Ooh, you hate to see it. Hopefully he can make it to pit. Oh, and Emirates with a picnic in the grass as well. Seems like we have a few drivers going for some off-track excursions at this current moment, but a very safe rejoin. Renato,
yeah, with the flashers on too.
He must be having some problems. At this stage, I feel like you just need to return to the garage.
Yeah, I would say so. It's a very, very interesting situation for Emirates, just taking the rally line. Yep.
I'm not sure what the goal is here.
Yeah, Cassis
Kaslassi is what I went with.
See, I made fun of you earlier for screwing it up, and I botched it immediately. So Cassis car 59, the 59 Ferrari.
He will not care.
59 Ferrari is now currently duking it out with Voss. That's a double whammy of us screwing names up, because we're gonna get Anton Voss mixed up as well. Jace Wright almost collected the Rockefeller Jelson Cruz Porsche, but keeps it clean. Decent rejoin. I don't think he took out Jake Wells. Nope. So we're good there. Jake Wells on a nice little run coming from P3. You know, I doubted him. I said that he would drop out of the top 5. He has not. He's actually gained a position. He's now in P2.
Never have doubts for the young 13-year-old Jacob Wells.
You know, I really shouldn't.
The youth exuberance, it can get you a long way. A little bit further down the grid, CJ Engine here. He is battling with Jason Provolone. Now, Jason, he's sporting himself a 20-second penalty, which is not going to help in his charge whatsoever down the field here. More yellow flags as we have Alexio. Oh no, Alexio Gappa has parked it into the barrier. Let's take a look. Can we catch what happened here? Alexio leading. That's Rally Dutchy behind. Whoa. I don't think there was contact.
Maybe just spooked him.
Looked like a bit of a... he pushed the air onto the bumper and it sort of collapsed it. We also have some energy being thrown the way of Devin Anthony. No, yes, Devin Smallblock Anthony.
Yeah, he's currently running down Zane Blisket for 27th.
Jake the Boy
Dubé.
Wonder Wells.
Oh, Dubé might have it done here at the hairpin. He didn't outbreak himself. He kind of scared Ricardo Rivera last time. So Ricardo Rivera went into the hairpin really tentatively, and Dubé gets the move done on the 787. That was that might have been a little trick from that last lap to kind of scare Rivera into taking that corner more cautiously than he normally would. So I don't know, a little bit of mind games there by the Canadian.
Emirates currently needs to get off the track.
I would say so. Yep.
This, I mean, they're not on the track, but they need to be back in pit lane. This is very, very unsafe at this point. And I don't see the goal here. Is my biggest issue.
So. Matt, our team now caught up with the 59 Ferrari, whose name I'm going to butcher.
Renato Dornales seems to be getting a bit more pushy here. Ollie Raza, maybe holding him up now.
Yeah, Ollie Raza is just going to have to go full defensive.
Mason, I have no idea what Emirates is doing. I think he has returned to garage. It looks like... No, is he in pit lane? He's still out on track? Oh my goodness.
Trying to stay out of the way the best way possible.
Yeah, energy for the stewards. Thank you, John. They appreciate that. I'm just going to let you know because they appreciate that.
I laugh at that, but yeah, that is true. Also, Vadiko Tsitsiev hunting down Will Brunner. Their gap is slim to none. Couldn't fit at one point in time, you couldn't fit a piece of paper. Now you can fit about a small bike in there. Oh, and Stitzev outbreaks himself going into the chicane. There's no way that's not a track cut for him going into the chicane there. Wow. Brunner flashing Mach speed in the GTR. Just letting him know he's coming by. Mach speed on a different lap. And Stitzev is also by the GTR. Matt, our team has now closed the gap even further to Cass Lassie.
Here's a nice little battle for P29. Eric Gagosian sends it on to the Big Brain Racing Aston, and he gets it done. Eric Gagosian sends it on the fellow commentator.
Wow, nice job there on the man who shall not be named. He's kind of got to probably be a little fuming. He's probably going to want that position back. Nice move there by the Eric the Boss Gagosian. Of course, his contracted stream time is what we're doing right now. Oh, Fernandez and Quinn Smith. It's a battle of some heavyweights right there.
I think
they're really good.
Sorry, I just, my bad. I didn't mean to interrupt there. I think I had misidentified earlier. I think I called out Zane Blisket as Rally Dutchy. They have a very similar livery, but my bad. That was Zane Blisket that I meant earlier. I
think it's identical, so I don't blame you there. But I was talking before I was rudely interrupted. Just kidding. Before Mike decided to talk about liveries, I was talking about the top 10 in this field. Could all be P1 in any other league, without a doubt. Which is just, it goes to show the amount of skill that these guys have. Also, we got a Fuchsia car way off.
There's just yellow flags everywhere I look. So Jace is going very slow.
Jace shunted into the wall.
Slow. Oh man, Jace, I gotta say, I predicted a top 15 finish for him. Not looking to be that way tonight. Casey Schutte gonna be lapping him very soon. He's not really getting the hang of this wheel too much as I hate to say it.
It is a Casey Schutte having a little bit of a difficult time getting around the Fuchsia competition, but yeah, definitely a little bit of a bummer with Chase Wright. It is a learning curve. We talked about it every time that he was on the controller, that it would take him a little bit of a warm-up period. I think we bring him in slowly, you know? We might have set the expectations a little too high on him. He's feeling the pressure. Oh, it's Stitzev and Brunner. These guys might have some words in the paddock for each other with how they've been driving so hard against each other. It's pretty wild. Oh man. Oh no.
Oh my goodness.
Will Brunner avoids contact there from the Mach speed, but Vadik got absolutely pinched by traffic by Will Brunner. That's interesting play there.
Can we get some more energy for the stewards, everybody? I think they're gonna need it. My goodness. As Stephen Buckley has just pointed out very, very wisely, too much wrecking all. Yes, I couldn't agree more.
Stephen Buckley, who I'm fairly certain, I think I said this last time, I've bonked into you in SRA races, so we're fully aware of what wrecking means. I might be thinking of a different Buckley, though. I think I am.
I think you are thinking of a different Buckley.
I think I am thinking of a different Buckley. They aren't related. I think I do this every week. So yeah. In a couple weeks, guys, I'll say the same exact thing. So just be ready for it. I have the memory of a grapefruit. Dornales duking it out with also fellow Daytona 24 winner Ali Raza. What car were they in? Do we know what car they were in? Were they in the Cadillac?
I actually don't know.
Wow.
I'm a bad commentator. I don't actually know. If I don't commentate the race, I just don't know. It's not a great philosophy, you know.
They had to have been in the Cadillac GTP. That is for sure, because the Cadillac GTP was really strong at Daytona, even with a nerf, which is hilarious. Also, CJ Engine getting caught out by Mach speed at the hairpin. Great little flip around.
RCF Joseph, welcome, brother. Thank you for being here tonight. Appreciate you for chatting. Let's see what has just happened here. Jason Provolone taking the wide line with full confidence. Oh no, and the GTR just sends it right into the back bumper there of the 55 at very, very low speeds. And you hate to see it. Uh-oh, what's happened now?
What happened there?
I don't... Dom.
Yeah, that's... All right, that is fair. Jacob Padberg, yeah. Patty the Batty. Looks like he got past the... Or he's trying to get past Belanger? Is it Bellinger? Do we have a pronunciation confirmation there?
Yeah, I think you're fairly on it. Sorry, I was reading chat there. Stephen Buckley saying it's Philip Buckley, and they race in the... They race Division 5.
Yep, yeah. I always get Phil and Stefan mixed up. But, yeah.
Should be getting somewhat close to pit phase here. We're going to start to see drivers coming into pit lane for their scheduled stops, going for the little undercuts. It's Morco. It's, yep, I agree.
I can't wait for pits, in all honesty. At this point, I'm interested to see what strategies we get. We might see some Ferrari-esque type stuff here. Vidico, Stitzy, and Will Brunner still duking it out, by the way. Oh, Eric Acassi and Jelson Cruz. Oh, no. Oh, and that took out a front runner.
Oli Raza, Renato Dornales, Franco Sanchez, Jake Wells. Oh, my goodness. What is happening?
Oh, no.
This is a replay again, everybody. We're watching Oli Raza and the orange McLaren. Approaching back markers. Jake Wells getting concertina. There's contact ahead. Jake Wells gets firmly bumped, or gets blocked there by a car in the road. 3 cars blocking the road. Oli Raza somehow slips through, and we saw a little pirouette there from Ricardo Rivera, who got off at the most unlucky point of that. This is a nice little battle, though, as we resume.
Wow.
2 damaged cars side by side. Jake Wells and Oli Raza for P2. Down but not out is Jake.
Yeah, never give up, never surrender, I think is motto. But the big winner there is Christian Dubé, who was able to just sneak through and avoid any sort of contact. But that is huge for a lot of the mid-pack / front runners, that's for sure.
Not Bone, I do not blame you, brother or sister, but you know, like I said, I don't think that this is a representation of our Trackalicious races. I think this is what you call under-practiced from pretty much every driver in the session. This isn't the most popular track, let's just call it as it is, and most drivers do not have too much time behind the wheel on this track. I think this is what inexperience looks like, just going out on a limb. And GT3 people have no chill. Like I say, I wouldn't say that. You know, it's a lot of errors. I think it's coming down to a lot of mistakes here. It's not down to chill. We saw a little bit of that earlier where there's some drivers with no chill, but I just think it's inexperience.
Yeah, it was Larry Lanham. Welcome in. Yeah, Lanham wasn't doing too terrible. I think he got caught out by... you're saying the track is loose.
Oh my goodness.
I would say that
Why is Emirates still on this track? I mean, I don't get this at this point. This is getting absurd. Like, I don't want to be rude, but Emirates at this point is not in the competition. He is just a hazard. If you're not going to drive on the track, don't drive. I don't know.
I will be right back, actually.
Yep. Giving Monza flashbacks? Honestly, this seems maybe... I don't know. Like I said, I'm not too happy about it myself. As I'm sure you guys can tell, I am running out of things to say that are nice. So... it doesn't often happen, but as we have it, Oli Raza, he makes his scheduled pit stop, maybe not scheduled at this point, but a little bit early, somewhat on time. Undercut strategy it'll be, gonna take those tires. Nah, Lanham, like, don't. like I say, you don't need to explain yourself on this one. You're, normally I'm always like, yeah, stay in the race till the very end. It's always, nah, this one I get it. I'm being a bit harsh, but it is a poor showing tonight. Stefan has summed it up perfectly. It's a poor showing. Yeah, and Donington will catch you out if you're not prepared. There's definitely quite a few people here tonight that aren't, but we still got good racing ahead of us. 47 minutes of action, so like, let's not go anywhere, people. There's still plenty to come. Ali Raza, fresh out of the pits, making ground up. How many on the grid? There was 43 that started this race, so it's a very tight track with quite a few cars. And a full onboard lap from Devin Anthony, that sounds like a great idea. Devin Anthony in a heated battle currently as well. We'll stick with the third person until we get to the next lap here. And anything can happen in 1.5 hours. Exactly, Stefan. And yeah. We'll definitely see here. Big thank you to Mr. Bojangles91 for the follow. Much appreciated. Like I say, this is not your average showing at Trackalicious, in my opinion, but here we are tonight, and it is what it is, and we roll with the punches that we're dealt with. Yummy grass must be good for the intake. Honestly, at this point, yeah, the lawnmower that is the McLaren. Very much struggling. Thank you, Mr. Bojangles. Much appreciated. It means a lot. Oh, and there is the pit phase starting, but here we have our full onboard lap. Devin Anthony, but behind the wheel of the Rockefeller Racing 296. Right on the back bumper, wearing a hole here into the number 64 of Zane. We got blue flags approaching. Now, who is that behind us? That is going to be combining the two names together. That is going to be Franco Sanchez. Gaining, and gaining. As we reach McLean's, top of the hill, tilts it in. Now, I think Franco's going to have to be a little bit patient, but he is Renato Dornales about 2 seconds behind him. There's a little bit of breathing room, but he can't get stuck for long. Oh, closing that up. That's going to really hinder there, Devin. Devin's going to allow the front marker through, and I think so is Zane. Now, Zane's going to have to lift off the throttle early here to allow the car by, and that's going to allow a send from Devin Anthony. He doesn't go for it fully into the chicane. Another blue flag approaching. That's going to be Renato Dornales. This should be fairly cut and dry. Looks like Renato going to slide by there. You can see Devin going deep. Very good awareness and of spatial awareness around him.
Oh.
One more corner here. Oh, and that's going to be his opportunity. Zane Bliss gets wide, cuts over, almost closes the gap. Both dive into the pits at the same time, and I think they both get stopped in time. Wow. Renato takes the lead of this race due to the fact that he is not making his pit stop this time around. Gabriel Felipe does come in. Franco is in. Quinn is in. Casey is in. And we are going to be seeing Renato, I'm assuming, come in very soon. Oh, I heard Dom. He ain't here. Okay, never mind. I'm assuming I have an idea, but that's... Let's see. Renato, he's obviously going to take tires. Looking at the stop time, everybody is going to be taking tires here tonight. Yeah, so... Okay, Eric.
The penalty still applied. So the penalty, the penalty is taken care of, and the McLaren is off the track.
All right. McLaren no longer on the track. Our safety hazard has been gotten rid of. I guess, it's fine. I'm not going to say it. Gabriel Felipe out of the pits here. Should it make easy work of JP? I don't think JP is going to fight it. He is. He's going to fight it.
He's going to fight it.
There's not much point in fighting it, as I'm assuming JP is going to come in this lap. If he doesn't come in this lap, he's most certainly coming in on the next lap. So just let this one go and make your stop.
I mean,
and he does make his stop this lap.
Yeah. As I say, he's just probably trying to make Felipe work a little bit harder.
And honestly, you know what? I think what he was doing was saying, I'm taking this inside line because I need to make my pit stop. So, you know, maybe looking back at it, that was all right. He was just picking his lane early there, saying, I'm coming in. I do not want to have to cut the track with you in my way and cause a more dangerous scenario than I have to. But as it stands, yeah. Is there a penalty for leaving the race? No. There's no penalty for leaving the race. Unless you... I mean, there will be a penalty if you did something and then left the race, but there will not be a penalty.
The only penalty is your loss in points. So, if you're okay with that, then that works. JP coming out just a little bit ahead of behind Padberg. Oh, turning into a little three-way fight. Padberg's up 24 spots. That's pretty incredible. Gagassian's up 19.
Nobody is forcing anybody to do anything. So, that is, yeah. Nobody has forced anyone to do anything here tonight. We ran the M4. The M4 seems to, it's not the most popular beast in this current season. Oh my goodness, Christian Dubé. A little bit of oversteer there. He's got his cousin or brother, Jonathan, behind him. He's on a previous lap. There's, I think, 4 Dubés now in the Trackalicious series. 3 or 4, I can't remember. But you love to see it. Family affair now at this stage. And definitely, if you guys have that passion for sim racing, you got to get other people involved, you know. Share it with your friends, family. Get them to catch that bug. Then get them in the Trackalicious leagues. Christian doing exactly that.
Yeah, make it an entire family affair. And you can do it all in a G27, too.
True. Doesn't matter what, you can do it on a controller. Jace Wright proved that a while ago. I know Jace Wright no longer on the controller, and down in P30, like I say, something that, you're right, and that I think I overhyped Jace a little bit, maybe put the pressure on, but he's doing well. I'm not trying to take anything away from Jace. You know, it's just, I bet, knowing Jace's competitive nature, I feel like it's a bit of a hard one to swallow, but it's something that you just have to get over. It's a mountain that you have to climb, learning how to drive on a wheel versus the controller. And it takes time. And with time, I'm sure we'll see Jace Wright back up at the front pretty much
definitely
in the next few months.
Takes time and takes practice and a lot of determination, a lot of discipline. So we'll see how that goes.
And thank you, Marco. I agree.
So Provolone making a move on Fuchsia car as they go side by side through the. Oh, that could have been bad. That was a 63. It was Stitsiev right there. Nice move there by the Stinky Cheese Man. Now he looks for Will Brunner. Provolone got some new boots and is cooking with grease now, looks like.
Looking at high temperatures if he's cooking with grease. Okay.
Yeah.
Looking around that 600 degree mark.
Yeah, fondue pot. Also, Anton Voss eating a couple positions to Bellinger and Padberg. Padberg ending out on top of that little battle. Voss coming back at Bellinger. Got to get a confirmation if that's Belanger or if he's you said he's Canadian, right?
Who?
The 649.
The 649.
JP Bellinger.
He's Canadian.
Yeah, it could be Belanger. I might also be churching it up. So, as we usually do on the stream.
You have like a small
Bellinger.
Percentage chance of being right, but that if he is if he is Quebecois, then yeah, that could be.
Yeah,
and Easter Clay, yeah. Definitely, I'm also looking forward to the next Trackalicious race. Unfortunately, the next Sunday race will not be next week. It will be the week after that. We have our endurance racing next week and Super Bowl Sunday, I think. So, turnout just not going to be there, obviously. People want to watch the American football.
Yeah, the American football. The Super Bowl, of course, next week. You got anyone in mind for that one?
It's the 49ers and the Chiefs that are playing?
The Chiefs, yes.
I was right.
And speaking of...
Everybody, hold on. That's like a moment in itself. Whoa, what's going on here?
I was talking about it. Ollie Raza and Jake Wells came together at the hairpin, and neither of their McLarens are showroom ready. And Sanchez and Dubé and Wells making a little triad there. Wow. As I was about to use some filler on American football... these guys decided to pick it up.
Yeah, right. Now is not the time for that. This is going to be Christian Dubé onto the outside fighting with Sanchez. Goes a little bit deep.
Oh, wow.
Man, I got to say, Christian Dubé has great control of that wheel. He has gotten that rear end sideways multiple times and corrects it every single time. You can only do that so many times, though.
Yeah, the AMR is stable. It's a very, very stable ride. I see why he's been in it for a couple seasons now, I believe. I know he was in the Mercedes and the AMG his first season with us, but he's really, really done a great job in this AMR. Oh, as he gets a little squirrely.
Eric the Boss Kakassian listening to the stream while driving and typing.
JP is French.
He is French, so...
Could be Belanger.
Belanger.
We will get clarification, however. Also, it looks like Stitsiev and Will Brunner. Has this battle come to a head? No one cares about that silly game. That is very true.
That is statistically not true.
I'm rooting for the Niners because I don't like the Chiefs. And you can't have Taylor Swift go and win her first Super Bowl in her first year with the team, So, let's go! Let's go! Big win for the Dominator.
Yeah, that's actually impressive, Dom.
What was that?
Belanger. I'll give you that.
Oh yeah.
No, that's impressive.
My years of watching hockey have finally paid off, folks.
Everyone saw Dink Dong drive the Aston and then hopped onto the bandwagon.
Who is this Dink Dong legend?
Dink Donk, he is the elusive Australian driver that the name is unknown. Well, actually, we knew it. We do know his name. I've forgotten it, though, because he hasn't told me to say it, so I don't.
Oh, he's surrounded by a shroud of mystery. All right.
He's an elusive Dink Donk. He is from down under, though.
Okay. All right.
And very quick, like Ollie Raza levels of quick, if not more.
Okay. All right.
But yes, he does wear a paper bag as his superhero mask, so.
Oh, well, Prawn just spoiled the, he called out Peter Parker here.
Yeah, but like I said, I don't know if he actually wants to be known.
No, that is A-okay.
If he
My lips are sealed.
He is an SRO Asia driver, which means his name is public, but like I say, if he doesn't want it...
Don't expose his name.
If he doesn't want it shared, then I'm not gonna, if he doesn't give me direct permission, so.
Hey, Prawn, we have to have someone to go off of in Trackalicious. And Ollie is probably the Trackalicious factory team, if you will, the works team. Probably the fastest works team driver besides Andreas.
Goodness. Oh, it's terrifying every single time I see it. The pit lane here, this is an old track, everybody. This track was founded back in 1931. So the pit lane is not quite up to modern day standards.
Oh man, and that was the Fuchsia competition, or Fuchsia Competizione, coming out of the pit lane. And this battle, man, these guys, they were duking it out in Coda too. and this traffic is going to kind of muddy up the two behind him. That's Ali Raza and Renato Dornales.
Taking a look over at the pit wall, the Aston Martin, fastest in the straight line. Unquestionably, actually. All of the Aston Martins are at the top of the speed trap currently.
Love to see it. Good old British engineering at its finest. Also, Stephen Buckley saying Donington is hilly Snetterton. That is so far from the truth. Snetterton is a great facility, and I have nothing bad to say about it.
Oh, yeah, Snetterton is it's a bit of a tough track. There's no denying that.
Dude, it's a rally cross course, man.
Yeah.
That is,
and
WRC should practice there.
This track has about 10 times more elevation than that track, in case anyone was curious. Or nine times, but yeah.
Stephen Buckley letting us know his thoughts on Donington, which I don't agree with at all. At all. I love not Donington, letting us know his thoughts on Snetterton, which I love Snetterton. Favorite track ever.
I have seen some really good MX-5 races at Snetterton.
That would be a great, yeah, dude. MX-5 at Snet would be a lot of fun. Or like, you know, the Clio Cups and iRacing, those kind of deals. Yeah.
No,
low speed.
I think Don could not qualify for the GT4 rookies. It does actually have a, you have to be a rookie over on SimGrid or a seasoned rookie to join. So, do not think he can do that. And yeah, it's a kart track. Yeah, it is a kart track as well.
This is a karting. It's pretty much a kart track. This is a little bit like it's like an F4 track. Wow. Sanchez and Wells are getting nice and cuddly right now. Uh-oh, Steven Music, a little bit of a bonk there with Kevin Yu. Caught up some traffic. Oh, they're going side by side through Sector 1 here. Oh, Steven Music is going to take that, no problem. Action averted.
I just heard a spin. Who was that? I just heard a car go dead and then start itself back up again. I didn't see a name. Was that in the first?
Was it Hausman?
It was Will Hausman, I think. I just see the yellow flag a little bit late, yeah. Interesting. No, wait. No, it wasn't. No, it was whatever these drivers are in front of us. I think it was Mach Speed in the GTR. Getting away with it, though. The battle continues, though. Jake Wells defending like a madman. Franco Sanchez, the Argentinian driver. What has he got?
Yeah, like I said, they're getting nice and cuddly. They're coming up to lapped car being Mach Speed in the recently buffed GTR.
It was Speed. Eric's stewarding and driving simultaneously.
Incredible.
Whoa, that's dangerous.
Wow. Did make it nice and easy for them to get through the chicane, though.
It was just sketchy. I mean, it was fairly safe, actually, but it was just sketchy, that's all.
Wow. The fact that these guys have insane car control. The fact that they're able to go through the hairpin bumper to bumper without making any sort of pit maneuvers or anything like that, that's pretty impressive. And the straight that you have before the hairpin and then the little mini straight that you have before the other hairpin, coming up to that blind corner right before the start-finish is just... You got to really, really be on your brakes.
I had the pleasure of commentating alongside David Christie just yesterday, and he made the comment of when you're going through those corners and the cars are acting like that, it's like those little, I don't know if you had when you were a kid, Dom, but like those little physics snakes, you know what I mean? Those little like rib cagey snakes that you move the head and then it moves the whole body.
Yes, yeah. I didn't have a lot of STEM toys as a kid.
I mean, I don't know what it's... It's not a physics toy. It's just, that's the best way I can... What are those called? You know,
the wooden snakes.
Yeah, the little wooden snakes, yeah, that rattle around and stuff. What you're talking about. Chat, what are those called?
Wooden snake toys.
Because I just know, like, they're little physics toys is how I look at them.
Also, Ali Raza took a dip of a tire into the grass, trying to pull up a smoke screen on Dornales. It didn't quite work. Dornales, now, that gap is nil as they come up to the chicane. Pick your battles, Renato, nice job. Oh, Raza goes wide. And Dornales is through.
No, not
it's going to be a double whammy.
Not a spring snake oven. Like a, they're not springs. They're like little, they have a little ribs in them, and you move the head to the left, and the body goes to the right, and the tail goes to the left, and it sort of, like I say, if you Google snake physics toy, I'm sure it will, or like wooden snake physics toy, it'll come up.
Don't Google wooden snake physics toy. I think you might come up with something else, but yeah, I'm losing my mind at Mike trying to figure out what this is called. When we have these guys are less than a second apart from you, you're gonna get yelled at by
tame.
Eric.
They're tame right now. They're really not going for it.
They were not tame a second ago.
That was it was a second ago. No,
you know what wood they're made out of, Mike? Would you want to dive into that?
Mahogany.
You know I'll look it up. I'll look it up for you. How about that?
They're probably made out of various woods. They're made out of plastic too, because the ones that David Christie knew of, they were plastic ones. So the UK, a little bit cheaper.
Yeah, goes into their.
Shout out to all my UK boys out there. UK,
yeah,
UK
it
friends.
It follows into their car manufacturing too.
Okay.
Burn.
It was made in a shed in the British Midlands.
Wooden snake toys. They're literally called wooden snakes.
Wooden snakes. All right.
Yep.
That's the ones.
They're wooden snakes. Are you talking about these, Mike?
Check my DMs.
No. I have my camera's up.
Oh, your camera's up. Hold on. I gotta. That's kind of okay. Yes, I am talking about those, Dom.
All right. Cool. Yes.
I probably could have put that on
You can buy them
screen,
in bulk. You can buy 72. You can buy 72 of them for $61. We can give them away as TRACKILICIOUS gifts.
Let's not do that.
I'm adding it to the cart.
Okay.
$61. That's pretty
Franco,
good.
that's your money, Dom. That's not coming out of the supporters'
Eric gave me the credit card. I got permission.
Oh my goodness. Wiggly snakes? Wiggly snakes. That actually is a pretty good name for them. Or wiggle snakes. Slinkies are better. Slinkies are different, Stefan. They're different.
Yes. A different STEM toy.
Slinkies are cool though. I'm not taking anything away from Slinkies.
Slinkies are goated.
They are.
Slinkies, yeah. Slinkies, nothing's got anything on Slinkies. That thing has been around forever. Look, how about that? Their track on your screen.
I was ready to not even respond to that one.
I had a stroke reading it, but I mean the ability to type and drive at the same time is incredible. He might be getting some help. I think he's got some third-party help.
I don't think he does.
No, Miss Gossian isn't helping him there?
No, I highly doubt it. She's probably dealing with the kids.
Fair enough. Darren Thomas and Vediko Stitsiev. Vediko Stitsiev's been in a couple battles with Will Brunner, Darren Thomas, Provolone. He's got some rivals on track, that's for sure. And by the way, Eric, I tried to rope him in, and we dove into the bit. Okay. According to Mike, they were tame. All right.
They were tame. They still are tame. Nothing's changed. Literally, there hasn't been a position change since I started that anecdote. Here we might have
there
one.
was just now.
We might have one here.
Darren Thomas.
All right. Well.
Here's Padberg diving deep too.
Nah, that was Danny let him by. There was no fight there. Daniel let him by. That was pretty obvious. Daniel sees the pace there of Padberg and doesn't fight it.
You gotta create the excitement somewhere.
There was no drama there though. There's more drama. Franco is okay. The drama is really between Franco and Jake, and I think Franco has the pace to overtake Jake Wells. He's just waiting at this point. He's doing exactly what he needing to, saving his tire. Well, he's maybe not saving his tires. He's a little bit close to do that, but saving fuel and just using that slipstream to the advantage. And eventually he'll get that overtake, forcing Jake into some sort of mistake. This is going to be a tough one to make happen. He's on the outside line. Sends it to the inside, though. Thinks twice. I like that.
That was double checking the mirrors for Jake. That's for sure. This is a really big. This is a big moment for Jake. 23 minutes to hold on to P2. I think Sanchez might have it though. I think Dubé might have it too. I'm doubting Jake. I'm a hater right now. I think that's where I stand. I see Jake falling out of a podium spot.
And Stefan, that's awesome. I really enjoy those myself, I will say, when I was a kid. But welcome, AV6 Scott.
Setting him up for a pass with the deke. Yes, I love that. Yes. That's a good hockey reference right there. Jake has 9 seconds of damage? Oh, does Jake? No, I think he fixed it in pits. Maybe.
No, I'm pretty sure he didn't actually. No, he did not repair it in pit lane.
Oh, wow. Not showroom ready.
Looking at his stop time, he definitely did not take the repair. Kept himself in the fight that way. Fair enough.
Bold move. It's costing him in that corner, though. He's spitting up dust every single time. And he's losing a little bit of aero.
And yeah, as AV6 Scott saying, Jake is going to have a tough 22 minutes ahead of him here. Gabriel Felipe has checked out, by the way. I don't even think that's a name we've mentioned since the first 15 minutes of this race. Gabriel Felipe, by the way, is leading our race, in case anyone was curious.
Mason popped it up, but I was talking about Jake having a tough 22 minutes with Scott, right? Probably go check his stream. He's probably sweating bullets right now. There's probably a couple fans on in that room, and he is full sweat mode.
And Sir Clay, thank you very much for the follow. Much appreciated. Felipe's just going, yes, he is.
At 13 seconds, that's not the biggest gap that we've seen from previous winners. I'm pretty sure Ricardo Rivera's pulled off some 20-seconders and things like that. So let's humble Gabriel a little bit here. That is pretty impressive, though. Faster than me. He had to turn off the neon sign to keep the room temp down. I don't doubt it. I don't doubt it. I want one of those signs, though. I'm going to get one for when I stream. It's just going to say blue.
I do, too. That thing is really cool, that neon sign that Jake has.
Sick. Yeah, he gave me the deets on where his wife got it for him for Christmas. That was very sweet of her. She's fully bought into him being a pro streamer, guys.
That's crazy. What a wife.
What a wife. What a life.
So I know that is typically, obviously we do post-race interviews here, and that is whenever we ask for the shout-outs, who'd you like to thank? That's like the number one is, I'd like to thank the wife for allowing me to be here. So shout out to all the wives.
Simulated cars, yeah.
But no, big shout out to all the wives, though. Because these sim racers, they put a lot of work in, and they kind of have to in order to be as competitive as they are, especially like Jake Wells, very
who's fighting
talented.
Off traffic right now. That's a lapped car that he's gonna have to get by, and same with Sanchez. Oh no, Felipe hit him!
My goodness!
Oh
a send and a half, Franco Sanchez. Jake Wells is so unlucky.
Oh no!
Here's the replay, everybody. We'll get another camera view. So we're about to see around the corner now into the uphill. It's just the move was not there.
I think that was just you get a false sense of almost a false sense of where the track was. Oh, that's such a bummer. Sanchez got the worst of that, though. Sanchez really dropped down. Jake is able to maintain fourth, a recoverable fourth. Matt, our team, also taking a little bit of a rally line. Oh, big contact, too. What happened there? What is happening? What a screen. Get him in the NBA. Yeah, that was quite a... That's another good joke. It looks like... Oh, Mach speed! And Matt, our team come together. Oh, at high speed, too. What happens with... I don't think I'm going to get the other part of this replay, but then... He gets clipped again, but I don't know by what.
Yeah, I'm not sure. Stewards will definitely have to be taking a look at that one. But, and also, that's another thing. You know what? Fair enough. Shout out to all the girlfriends as well. We can't leave them out.
The significant others.
The significant others, thank you.
The significant others that help us, that help support our hobby and hobbies, for sure. Mine is in the other room, not too terribly far. And she's very supportive of me commentating. She loves Mike too, so she loves that Mike and I do this together. And I've made a good buddy. So
my significant other is non-existent.
Hey, not in a next stream that I'm here. You'll be feeling some love, Mike.
Yeah, good one.
You'll be feeling some love. Ali Raza and Sanchez. I think I screwed up Sanchez's name when he hit Jake. I was so taken back. That was a very, very uncharacteristic miscue by the Argentinian. That is for sure.
It really was. And yeah, poor time to shoot for the stars. And Morco cheering on Raleigh. You love to see that. Lizzie, thank you. I need a hug. No, I'm all right. I'm used to it.
No, I got him, guys. I got him. I'm the best wingman he can have from 1,400 miles away.
We need to kiss soon, Dom. No, don't take that out of context. But like, you know, it does need to happen.
Someone clip that, please, for the love of God. Please clip that. That was great. That was fantastic. Just completely out of nowhere. Yes, we do, Mike. Yes, we do.
It's just like, you know, I just got reminded, that's all.
Yeah,
and thank you to Twitch chat, of course, for making that dream become a reality. It happened at 1555 followers. We were supposed to have that kiss cam. Yeah, we've missed that boat by a couple of hundred followers. Thank you guys, first off, for making us miss that boat. But we're up to 1,768. We're like 200 followers late.
Hey, man, I was busy getting engaged and going on adventures. So, of course, none of that is possible without the love and support of the entire Trackalicious community. It's really cool to see the community grow, and it's cool to be a part of it for sure. I've loved every second of commentating and racing with you guys. I've done enduros, the rookie series. Even competed against you guys at events, so it's a lot of fun.
You had the Eric the Boss Kakassian representing your team at one point in time.
That was definitely a fluke, that's for sure. I don't know how he stumbled into that contract, but I wasn't a part of that board meeting.
Also, a Fat Fly, welcome. I love that name. Absolutely love it. Christian Dubé. So this is, we'll touch on the race here for a moment. The Christian Dubé, also, Jakob Padberg with a drive-through penalty. That is something that I don't think we've actually seen too much of tonight, is drive-throughs. Looking at it, we have Steven Tomazic, who's picked up 1. We've had Alex Freeman, who's picked up 1. We have Vadik, who's picked up 1. And that's about it, besides Jakob Padberg.
We said early that it was going to be an issue with that chicane, but I guess I was wrong. You guys have driven a lot better. Also, Wassman and Mach Speed going off at the same corner. But that is a little bit of a bummer for Patty the Batty, because he's made up so many positions. He's going to lose a bunch with that DT.
Jake Wells also in a pretty good position. P4, considering the circumstances, I think there's at least 20 seconds of damage picked up on this McLaren. And he still got the pace. 127.9 was his previous lap. So lapping at the pace of Gabriel Felipe, actually down to the down to the 0.002 of a second, in fact.
And Ricardo Rivera is, of course, we watched as you were talking about that, Jake. That car does not have much aero left on it, and the McLaren is incredibly aero dependent. He's about to get swallowed up by 2 cars that have less damage than he does. Ricardo Rivera is defending like an absolute Chad right now, though, as Ricardo Rivera and Ali Raz are reading part numbers off of his vehicle. They're that close.
That was Rally Dutchy. That was having a little trip off into the grass there for a moment. Hopefully he'll be back on soon. This has just been, unfortunately, a terrible race for Rally Dutchy. One to forget. Luckily, though, so I will say, I'm glad to see him go to the checkered flag, though. That's one of these races. This is a race you can learn a lot from. You can learn a lot from this type of race, as we see Will Haasman have a nice little trip off into the grass as well. Ups and downs are an understatement in this one, and survival is key. Jake Wells is pretty much the real face of that statement right there, where he has been battered and bruised, but he's still not down. Jake Wells in P4, holding on steadily from Ricardo Rivera and Ollie Raza.
Yeah, this is just an absolute. I'm just combing through the field, and there's still little micro battles here and there, but these guys are definitely the rock'em sock'em race car drivers.
Ricardo gonna be getting impatient at some point. He has the pace. Every single lap has been better or matched by Ricardo. The romance segment has been clipped. Thank you, Moriko.
Let's go.
Much appreciated. Yeah, these are things that'll never live down.
Sent it into the wall.
Uh-oh. Padberg's had a tough re-debut, you know. And I say re-debut because it has been a while.
Oh, he clipped the grass just before the chicane and absolutely sent it into the wall. And RTG. That was a smart move.
It's a frustrated move.
That is for sure. But he's a good driver nonetheless. I mean, even with the re-debut, he's done a pretty good job. With he was up 24 positions before his retirement, so...
yes, Holly. Padberg is, as Dom pointed out earlier, the youngest champion of not only this series, but of Trackalicious.
Also, if Chris Moses can hold on for the next 10 minutes and finish ahead of Wilson Fernandez, he can put that on his resume.
Yeah, Wilson
Fernandez. Put that in his Twitch bio. I beat Wilson Fernandez.
Wilson Fernandez is really off the pace today. He's driving the McLaren, which is his bread and butter, but just not quite up at the front where you'd expect him. I wonder if there's a setup issue, if there's a practice issue. He may just not be gelling with this track. I know that's a common factor for probably over half this field, is that this is a tough track and car combo, no matter what your car is.
Yeah, I mean, I guess I'm built different because I love this track. I can hop in here with no practice, and I probably wouldn't be super competitive, but I'd be having fun.
Jason Provolone, this is for P9 or P18, Steven Music, and there's the cheese being spammed already. It ain't easy being cheesy, and no, it most certainly is not. Jason Provolone trying to hold on from Vadik. Vadik, we saw earlier, was overdriving his car. It seems that he has tuned it down a couple notches. He's back on track. And with... okay, I really thought that was going to be a moment where we're good, we're good. No commentators' curses.
Ollie Raza's pitting?
Why?
I mean, that's why I ended that sentence with a question mark.
No,
Oh, he has a drive-through.
Oh my goodness, Ollie Raza has explored track limits one too many times.
Wow, that just took him out of possibly a top 10. Casey Schuty's going to pass him. Chris Moses is not quite close enough, so he'll come out P9, but man, wow. That is an unfortunate break for Ollie Raza.
Oh my goodness, we're 3 wide here momentarily. That's terrifying. 3 wide into the penultimate corner. There's a back marker involved. JP Bellinger and Castellassi heading on into the final corner here. The AMG on the outside. Sends it around. There's contact. Might have been a little bit tight of a line there from JP. Nonetheless, he keeps his foot in it, takes the position, and P13 is his.
Yeah, Rubbin's racing right there, but yeah, that was a little bit of a bump. That's for sure. Watching the replay, that was quite a bonk. Ricardo Rivera's backed off of. Oh no, Chris Moses is off. As I talk about him, Chris Moses, I think, unassisted. Yeah, he just cooks it in that uphill section. Oh, he does. He makes contact with Fernandez. Fernandez no worse for wear, though. That's a bummer.
You hate to see it. I don't think Castellassi is happy about that pass. That's a fair...
Yeah, that'd be a fair reaction.
That'd be a fair statement. Yeah. It'd be a fair reaction if he wasn't. Cass,
I say Rubbin's Racing is kind of a joke on that one.
Cass is a driver as well who is quite emotional. Now, he's a driver who we haven't seen in a very, very, very long time, for me personally at least, out on the Trackalicious field. Used to be quite talented, definitely still has that potential in him, but he's very emotional, and when drivers wrong him, he tends to get a little heated, and I think he'll be the first one to admit that.
You talk about him like he's a washed-up athlete. He's out here. He's doing better than you. He's setting better times than you are.
To be fair, he used to drive when I drove, so me and him used to race together back at like 2 years ago.
Okay, so it makes sense. Mike was definitely a guy that he yelled at for sure.
I mean, I like to keep it clean typically, but you know, it wouldn't surprise me if one or two incidents had happened, because we were around the same pace back then, but still.
Back then, yep.
It was a while ago, to be fair.
Odstitsev, Provolone, and Steven Music. Oh, Music goes way wide. Just opens the door for Odstitsev. Says, come on in. Have a look around, and he will. He'll take 18th.
Can Steven take it back? Doesn't look like it. Provolone going to be up next for trying to have a little bit... That Ferrari not showroom ready. I mean, there's not too many cars out there currently that are.
I would like to know if there's anyone out there that does have a clean car.
I'm going to take a shot in the dark and say that our current race leader, Gabriel Felipe, has a clean car.
Right. Yeah, that was a silly, stupid statement.
Actually, no, it's just dirt.
I think
It's just dirt.
I think Dornales does too. I think
Dornales has been driving pretty well.
Damage. So is Dubé, I want to say.
But Gabriel Felipe, who has not put a foot wrong this entire session.
He also must have heard me talk about him, saying that 13 seconds wasn't that big of a gap. He's now pulled it to 16. So, touche. Touche, Mr. Felipe. Touche.
Now, dominance tonight, I think, is I think it's an understatement, to be honest, but Gabriel Felipe, well-deserved of this victory. And we'll see. I mean, he needs to still hold on to it, obviously. It's not over till it's over.
Got 5 minutes and a 15-second gap. Yeah, Dornales is definitely not out of it.
Now, one thing I haven't mentioned as of yet, but we do, of course, have a championship standings in this race, and Renato Dornales is leading the championship. This is going to be actually a hat trick of victories for him in this GT3 league. This will be his third in a row. Gabriel Felipe has finished 2nd, 7th, and 2nd. So going to be he's currently P2 in the championship. Chris Moses, P3 in the championship with Jake Wells behind him. And Wilson Fernandez in 5th. So we'll see some movement in the championship. Christian Dubé, Jake Wells in P4, and Chris Moses is pretty far down, P11 currently. So I think we'll be seeing a change there in the championship points between them, if not at least a good equalization.
Yeah, nice job by Chris Moses. Oh, wow. Christian Dubé goes rally driving. That's the first time I've seen Dubé put a bit of a foot wrong, besides his late braking maneuver earlier. Also, Ali Raza looking to hunt down Casey Schutte. A little admin on admin action. Couple of badmins, if you will.
Morico, you know, honestly, the lead of the GT3 series, I will say, has been... It's been a back and forth. I don't want to say, because it has been fairly close. This race in particular, I think, is just Gabriel Felipe being Gabriel and dominating. But there's also been battles for P2, which has really allowed him to walk away. But yeah, I mean, I see your point in that there's quite a bit of pace there. Ali Raza, he's struggling to get around his good buddy Casey Schutte currently. Yeah,
right now that was a pretty nice move defensively by Casey, and Ali Raza showing some teeth there. No, they might be friends off track, but there's no friends right now, that's for sure.
And Ali Raza coming through the S's now. No really chance of an overtake through there, barring your opponent making a mistake. But as you approach the top of the hill, at McLean's here. This is where you're going to be starting to set up your overtake. Oh, but it's going to be very tricky when you get a wiggle like that.
Yeah, both of them getting a little squirrely.
Well, this is a good setup corner. Maximize your minimum speed through it to the straight here, onto Starkey Straight. Slipstream, but the McLaren just too far behind. That Aston is so quick.
It's so fast in the straight line. That might be something that the BOP for next race might have to look into. And Casey trying to defend the inside. Let's see if he can defend the inside line. This is where Ollie had him last time. Does a good job just maintaining that line. That was a good driving by Casey. Kudos to Mr. Schutte right now.
Ollie Roswick currently 25th in the speed trap at 239 kph. Casey Schutte 243 at third in the speed trap. Now it's obviously just straight line speed we're talking here, not raw pace. But that means that Ollie Raza is not going to be able to walk by Casey in a straight line. He has to do the work himself and go into the braking zone and make it happen.
Yeah, and also Ollie Raza doesn't have as much aero help with some damage to the front end of that vehicle too. Casey's Aston is pretty showroom-esque ready. Also, the Stinky Cheese Man applying for Audi's new rally program. A little bit of an unfortunate spin.
The reckless racing doesn't look that reckless. It's fairly, well, it's reckless, I should say. It hasn't had a wreck.
Wow. Chat, I need you to flame Mike for that one. That was a really bad pun.
That's fine. I deserve it.
Yeah, yep. I'm also a little mad I didn't make that one myself. I'm not gonna lie to you, I'm a little jealous about that one. Ollie Raza looking down the outside of the hairpin?
Casey is defending so hard.
Oh, man. Imagine the bragging rights.
I think that's exactly what I was about to say. I think that's what he's going for right now, is he actually does not care about his finishing position right now. He only cares about finishing out of Ollie. Oh, he's Ollie Raza.
Oh, no way. They're going to have to review themselves.
Casey Schutte gets shoved off the track.
Flashing him. Wow. Who the hell starts a broadcast like that? I just sat down. Paula, we've been going for a while. We've been going for 2 hours. So we did not just start a broadcast.
Ollie, a little dirty. That is your race ban-worthy. No, it's not. I can't
Ollie
even say
Verstappen. I love that. That's Ollie Verstappen for sure. If he went for the if I'm not making the corner, neither are you right there. They might have to review their own incident. That'll be kind of fun.
No, okay. Let me just say this: stewards cannot review their own incidents.
Mike, this is our chance. This is where we can step in.
Oh, we have another lap.
We do?
We do. The Gabriel Felipe just comes across the line. I was expecting him to come to the checkered flag, but no, we get one more lap here. So.
Wow.
What were you about to say?
I think that you and I should, any steward incidents, I think you and I should have to review.
I don't.
And give our ruling.
I don't agree with that. I can fill in as a steward if needed, but I don't like to do the stewarding. In case anyone was curious.
Guys, this just in, Mike is soft. Ricardo Rivera, speaking of not soft, the opposite of Mike Nause. Jake Wells has defended Ricardo Rivera for the last 12 minutes, which is incredible. Because Ricardo Rivera, I would say, has a little bit more pace than Jake Wells. But Jake Wells has proven me wrong at every corner of this race. I said he was going to fall out of the top 5. He's currently top 4. I did say that he'd fall out of a podium spot, and he did, which is just unfortunate.
98 McLaren there drifting. You love to see that. But Jake Wells, has driven superbly. It's not over, to be fair. He still has a few more corners to defend, and it really could be. He's got such a speed disadvantage. But as it stands, though, Gabriel Felipe comes across the final corner now and heads down the start-finish straight. A bit of a weave and a flourish, and it's P1 by over 16 seconds for the Brazilian driver. Renato Donales will be up next here now, coming around the final corner in the vacuum racing. It's a Brazilian 1-2. And comes across the line, finishes strong in second. Up next, Christian Dubé. And Jake Wells will finish in 4th with the defense of his life.
Let's go, Jake Wells, the 12-and-a-half-year-old coming across the line at the very last second. Also, the test racing guys making a nice little screenshot for their Astons right there. That was pretty cool. Yeah, congratulations to the top 3, and hell of a drive by Jake there. That was awesome.
And Ollie did end up getting Casey at the end. Unfortunately, Casey doesn't get the bragging rights. Wilson Fernandez.
I don't know.
10.
We might see something come out of that incident out of the hairpin. So
It's
we'll
possible.
see.
I doubt it, but we'll see. I doubt either of them are going to report it, but
I mean, Casey was pretty adamant in the driver's briefing about reporting incidents.
Fair enough.
So if he doesn't follow suit on his own words,
no,
I was there, Casey. I remember.
Are we ready to head back to the booth, Dom?
We certainly are. I was born ready.
Let's do it. As we head on back, welcome back, everybody. And what a race. What a race. Gabriel Felipe, P1, Renato Donales in 2nd, Christian Dubé in 3rd, Brazilian 1-2, a Canadian 3, an American 4. Jake Wells, though, great job. Thank you very much, John Hawley, as well.
Giving us an A+ on the broadcast. It's the first A+ I've ever got in my life, by the way.
Honestly, same, now that you mention it.
Really? Yeah.
That's a good point. Let's see if we can wrangle up our drivers here. We have Gabriel Felipe, Renato Donales, and Christian Dubé we're looking for. And none of them are in the Discord. You'd love to see it.
Love to see it. I kind of wonder how much sweat is coming off Jake's shirt. Like, if he took his shirt off and, like, wrung it out, how much would drip out? I think it'd be a lot.
Yeah, I'd definitely be curious. Honestly, I'd love to get an interview from Jake if nobody else does show up, but we'll see. We'll see. Rally, good round. I got to say, champion for coming to the checkered flag, but that was a rough race for you. Facing the wrong way a couple times. You know, at least, like I said in the middle of the stream, but these are the ones you learn from. And I think that one was a good learning experience. Very, very tricky. Tricky track. Just hard. It's a tough track.
My Mason in chat saying that Michael Massey's going to have a look. Yeah, he's actually one of the stewards for TRACKILICIOUS now that he doesn't do supercars or F1. I sent him an email and he did manage to get it. So.
No, Michael. No.
No, Michael. This is so not right, Michael. Yeah. Toto, it's a motor race. We went motor racing.
I'm not seeing anyone in the green room here.
All we get is my Toto and Michael Massey impressions.
Yeah, I guess so.
Which, I mean, is quality content for the stream.
It's content.
You know, Mike. Am I looking the right way? I don't know yet.
Wait, look to the right? Or look to your... Yeah,
look
there you go.
Right,
that's the right way. That's the right way.
That's the right way. You know, Mike, we could give the people what they want.
I mean, we can. It's a little early. I don't know.
It is a little early.
Do we want to practice?
It's only 10:35. Do we want to practice?
Do we want to practice it first before we go live with it?
Yeah, we probably should practice.
We should probably practice. Yeah.
Yeah, we should, because if I mean, we'll miss if we don't practice.
Yes, but
this is a situation I never thought I could say that I was in, but
here we go. Gabriel Felipe. We'll start off here. As we have here, Gabriel Felipe, the Brazilian ORT driver, dominant as ever, finished in P1 by an absolute mile. Probably a little boring up at the front, but I will say you had some back markers to contest with. How did it feel from your perspective?
Yeah, fortunately, very boring this time. We had the pace, fortunately. I would say that I should have practiced a bit more, but I think the McLaren was a good car at this track, and we still do not have the BOP yet. But yeah, the car was very good, and unfortunately, the Dornades had a bit of contact and some incidents that ended our battle. So it will have to take a little more time to have this battle on the track, but I will wait for it. Very, very exciting, battle.
I don't think you're going to have to wait too long. As Gabriel, as you're saying there, Renato, he's been quick. His lap times, his fastest lap did go to you, but Renato actually pipped your fastest lap, except it wasn't valid.
Yeah, I think that I just had this fastest lap because he had some traffic ahead of him, so he just didn't have the space to get the lap together. So fortunately, that extra point comes to me, so it will be very good for my championship.
Yeah, most certainly, and it's looking really good. A hat trick of victories. Speaking of your championship, that's 4 in a row if you count the doubleheader. Hold on. Yes, 4 in a row if you count the doubleheader.
It was Renato.
Yeah,
He
incredible.
got the win at the other races.
Yeah, the first race of the season, yeah, but you have been dominant since then. Is there anyone you'd like to thank before we move on to some of the other drivers?
Yeah, sure. I would like to thank my team, RT, Oak Racing Team by Oakberry, and our sponsors, Extreme Simracing, Rake Parts, and Real Drive. So that's it. Good night. Bye.
Awesome. Thank you very much. Gabriel Felipe with a race win. There was your livery deep dive, by the way, Vadik, for Dom's face. I hope you enjoyed it. That was the most I was gonna do.
Did you zoom in on my face?
I did a little bit. Now you're kind of out of shape with the desk. You're not behind the desk for some reason. I got to fix that. That's okay. Up next, let's grab Christian. Let's grab Renato.
On my face.
Wait, hold on. Yes, here we go. Up next, Renato Dornelles, the fellow Brazilian country member of Gabriel, not quite able to deliver it today. Your lap times were good. The pace was good, but it just wasn't quite there for the victory. How does it feel, Renato?
Hello, everyone. At the end, it felt good because I was not expecting to get back to the second place. I knew we would have a fair fight for the lead because on my quali lap, I had 2/10 up and messed with the chicane. I know he had a bit more to do too, so we would be able to see who would be the fastest on the race, but I didn't have a good start. Then I lost second place, and it's a really hard track to overtake, so I lost a lot of time. And the only time I kind of had a chance, I got hit for behind, and then I lost the third place. I went to fourth, and after that I had another accident with back markers, so I went to seventh place. Was just trying to get back. I knew I wouldn't be able to fight for the victory, but it was quite nice to be able to get back to second place and finish the race there.
Yeah, it was a very hard fought one, especially battling there at the very end. I mean, Christian was keeping you on. I know Jake was keeping you honest for a very long time, but unfortunately, obviously, that contact that you mentioned happened. But what a good race from you, Renato. We're definitely, I think, going to be seeing you challenging the likes of P1 here in the next one. I definitely hope so. But is there anyone you'd like to thank before we move on?
Yeah, it was quite nice to be able to have a good pace, and just by curious, my last half an hour I was with 3 warnings, so I was just careful as hell in the chicane. So
I feel like you weren't the only one on that, but thank you, Renato Dornelles, number 66 for P2, and good luck in your next one, Renato.
Thanks.
Last, we might get a little word from Jake Wells, but also Christian Dubé. Christian, P3. Did you even expect to be up here on the podium here tonight, first off?
No, I did not expect to be on a podium, and I think a couple of the top guys did not expect me to be that quick. I was thinking about like the guys that are usually way before me, Raza, Rivera, and even Dornelles, where I thought that I could entertain a quick battle with him, but way faster than me. But hey, like the car is fast, and I'm not gonna complain. I'm enjoying while it lasts. Yeah,
no, and I gotta say, you put on a great fight, great show, but also a little bit of bragging rights to the fellow Dubés. If I'm not going to be, let's just call it as it is.
Yes, I was hoping to sort of redeem the Dubé like team, and we did pretty good tonight. I don't know what my brother Jonathan what's final result, but I was pretty pleased, and I could tell like the first couple of laps that first sector I was especially one corner where I really felt that I was gaining like like a tenth or 2/10 on a two corners. So I was like, wow, this is gonna be fun if I don't lose it or something. So pretty fast car and stable, and I really enjoy the Aston. So we'll see if there's ballast. Obviously, I feel that when it comes to the acceleration, the Aston was quite a bit faster than a few cars. But hey, I'm glad. I think I did a good race too. I don't want to say it's only the car. I think I'm pretty pleased with my driving tonight. But the car was surprisingly fast.
I will say, like I said, Dubé, you put yourself in the right place at the right time. You say that, obviously didn't expect yourself on the podium, but at the end of the day, you got it, and you capitalized on the errors of others, and that's what you need to do in those situations. So congratulations. Is there anyone you'd like to thank before we move on?
Well, thanks for the other guys that we were very close, and pretty. It was a pretty clean race. I actually benefited from a couple of incidents. Raza, Wells, I think they were faster than me, and I was just really lucky. I was really lucky the whole race. So thanks to all for a clean race and a fun race. So I'm looking forward for the next one.
Absolutely. Thank you very much, Christian. Good luck in your next one.
Thanks.
Oops, I moved a little earlier. That's okay. Thank you to One Bigly for the 100 bits. Thank you so much, Jacob Church, for your continued support. We're going to get Jake Wells in here. We'll do a quick little interview. Jake, how's it going, buddy? Might as well get a little interview with you.
Yeah.
That's a rough one. That's a rough one, I got to say. It feels like, I would imagine you kind of feel a little down on that. You had the podium sealed at one point, but luck just doesn't seem to be going your way.
No, but things happen. I mean, I get a little frustrated when things do take part, but at the end of the day, we all make mistakes and just move on from it. And still finished P4. We lost 2 places on it, but hey, it could have been better. It could have been worse.
Yeah,
a lot of traffic, a lot of traffic.
Yeah, tough track. I mean, in terms of, go ahead, Dom.
Oh, I was gonna say, Jake, I did want to let you know that the entire stream, from start to finish, I doubted you. Admittedly, I will be the first to admit I doubted your ability a little bit. You're a warrior out there. Even after, of course, the bonk coming up the hill, you duked it out with damage already. I mean, kudos to you, bravo for that P4. I would not have had the mental fortitude to keep going after that. So good job. You proved me wrong for sure.
Yeah, most of the race I had about 10 seconds of damage for the longest time, and then we finished like 17. So we made it. That's all we got to say.
Yes.
A defensive masterclass at that too. So very, very good. No, Jake Wells, congratulations. Anyone you'd like to thank before we move on?
Just everybody, my stream, as well as you guys, just putting us on. And it's a lot of work that you guys do in the background that a lot of people don't see, but people hanging out and making those 90-minute races fun and just a little bit more enjoyable. So I'll say thank you to everybody, as well as my wife. Always gotta say thank you to her. So if I don't say that, might be in trouble. She might be listening. So
awesome.
Yeah.
No, you love to see it. Thank you so much, Jake. Are you going to continue streaming, by the way, as it seems there isn't many more ACC streamers out there right now?
Yeah.
All right. Well, we're going to be sending your raid shortly. So thank you very much, Jake, and be expecting
you're too
that.
sweet.
Awesome. Jake Wells,
thanks,
everybody.
boys.
Congratulations on your P4.
Thank you.
Well, that's going to be it. 90 minutes of Donington complete. Up next, we'll take a look at the calendar briefly before we head back. You can see next event is going to be our rookie series. That's going to be tomorrow. Do head on over to SimGrid and sign up if you are interested for any events. We have our GT2s on Tuesday. We have our GT3 West Coast on Wednesday. GT3 Reverse on Thursday. GT4 on Saturday. More on the 12th. We got races almost every day of the week. There's plenty of action. Definitely get involved here. A lot of these leagues are popping. So much fun. Porsche Cups, GT3 Porsche Cups starting up at Barcelona next time, not next week, but the week after that. Do tune in. Thank you once again to all of our Patreons. Their wonderful names are on screen. And as we have it back to the booth real quick, yeah, it's been a lovely stream. Thank you all. Hope you all have a lovely evening, afternoon, or morning, wherever you are in this fine world. I've been Mike Nause, who had the pleasure of having Dominic Smedra next to me. Thank you so much, Dom.
You bet. Yeah, it's a blast. I'll see you guys in a couple weeks.
Yes, indeed. And we are going to be raiding, as I said. We're going to raid I Suck at This. So do head on over to Jake Wells, finishing P4 tonight. Awesome guy. Just head on over, say hi. We'll get a hydrate. Sure. Ghost, thank you very much, Ghost, for the follow. Ghost DK47. Cheers, buddy. As we have it, though, I've been Mike Nause. And we'll see you guys, like I say, next time tomorrow. I hope you have a lovely afternoon or morning, wherever you are in this fine world. Thank you, and good night.